everyone, Alexa Donne here, and today I am going to be sharing another writing hack with you, and that is how to better establish a firm sense of place by using Zillow and Google Maps. These are two of my favorite resources, specifically when I'm writing realistic fiction, though I think you can find ways to use these for unrealistic fiction, for genre fiction. But especially when you're setting things in real places, it can be really tricky to get that accurate sense of place if it's not a place that you live. And we shouldn't always have to write about places we live, or even if we do write about places we live or have lived, we're going to talk about Zillow and the opportunity to creep on other people's homes. And so indeed, I'm going to talk about these two resources, writing hack resources, because they do different things. So let's start with Google Maps. This one honestly is far more obvious, but as long as I was talking about Zillow, I thought I would talk about Google Maps as well. And that is using Google Maps and Google Street View to literally get a sense of place. You can walk through neighborhoods, you can map out routes, you can see how characters would physically move through spaces, get a sense of distances. I also like to use Google Maps for things like journey by car, train schedules, so that there's a sense of accuracy to literally how your characters will move through a space. It can also help you scout out small towns that look the way you want them to. Even if you don't use the literal place, you could make up your own town based on it. And it's just really, really helpful for being like, what's it like over there? If you want to have characters visit a European city, take a little walking tour on Google Maps. I especially recommend the directions part though, because it's really annoying, especially if you are from a region, when you read a book or watch a TV show and characters are in one place to another like that, and you're like, but that's a 3-hour drive. You as the author should know that's a 3-hour drive, or hey, the train takes 5 hours and the schedule is really off on Sundays, so they couldn't even do that then. Those are the kinds of little details that I certainly try to pay attention to. Google Maps was also really helpful for me when I was working on my thriller to figure out where to put my boarding school. I knew that I needed certain geographical elements, and it was using Google Maps and looking at New England that I was able to settle on a specific place. I don't name it in the text, but I know where it is, and that's what was important to me. Similarly, also was able to use Google Maps to creep on some boarding schools to really get a sense of how the schools were laid out. Then I used that to draw my own little map on an index card so that I knew how the campus was laid out. And then this brings me to Zillow. So Zillow is a real estate tool. You can use it to find homes to rent, homes for sale. You can also use Redfin similarly for homes for sale. And what I have used Zillow and Redfin for, this one is fun. This is when you really need to see the insides of people's houses. Outsides too. I have used these as tools when I've wanted to have something set in a very specific place in a specific kind of home, but my only frame of reference in terms of layout, etc., are the homes I've lived in or the few that I've visited. And you want to have the place feel real. When your characters walk through the space, you want it to have the logical flow of a real place. You want to be able to describe what a bathroom looks like, and maybe you're brain fogging and you're like, what could this bathroom look like? I mean, you could also watch HGTV, love those makeover shows, but I found Zillow invaluable when I was working on my thriller because I knew that the set piece of my third act was going to take place at a party, at a house party, at a rich person's home. And I don't have a rich person's home, and rarely have I been to one. And specifically, my book is set in Massachusetts, and I definitely never went to a rich person's home in Massachusetts, even though I lived in Boston for 8 years. So I'll tell you, well, the first thing I did, because research is good, I looked up the richest neighborhoods in Massachusetts on Wiki. Wikipedia is also a really great resource. There's lots of entries about demographics that you can use. Then I went to Zillow and I looked up houses for sale in those areas. And I wanted to narrow in on a house that realistically this character would own in an area that would be isolated enough for some things to take place, but also still in a nice enough place that it felt realistic that the characters would live there. And then it was very helpful to look at all the images, both exterior and interior, so I could describe the layout and the architecture. I saved images of any houses that I thought were really cute or any features that I thought were cute. I just saved them in a folder on my hard drive and also saved links to the listings in my Scrivener file so that I could go back to them later. I paid attention to how the real estate agents described these places. That's how I'd be like, oh, it's colonial style, sure. I knew that. It can help you with these sorts of words. And again, with the physicality, you can get a sense of where these houses are. It's not you telling the reader, oh, it's this house at this address in this real place, but you knowing as the author, for me, my reference point is this real place and this real inside layout and style of the building. So that is my creepy tip for creeping on people's houses so that you can more accurately and vividly describe layout, landscaping, architectural features, and so on for homes and places. Let me know down below in the comments, what are some of your tips, writing hacks for establishing that sense of place? Are there websites you use to creep on things so you get a more accurate sense? I mean, really, if you know of a great place to find house blueprints, I'm certainly curious. This was kind of my fix for like, when you walk into a house, where is the living room? But yeah, what resources do you use to do similar things? Give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and I will make more videos in the writing hack series. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that. I post new videos 2 to 3 times a week. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and happy writing.